Hey, what is going on, guys? In this video today, we're going to be going over 4 Fortnite tips that you're going to want to know if you play the game with a controller. Now, not all of these tips are 100% controller only, but some of them require me to explain specific button combinations for you to understand them, and since I play with a controller, I'm obviously going to be speaking in terms of controller buttons. You guys really seem to enjoy the last video like this, so I hope you feel the same way about this one. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so the first 2 tips in this video are actually 2 other really interesting applications of the first tip from my 5 Fortnite tips I wish I had learned earlier video from about 2 weeks ago. I would really recommend watching that video if you haven't already, but in case you don't want to, or you already saw it but forgot what the first tip was, it was a wall replace method that took advantage of turbo building, and the fact that for the majority of controller players, your swing pickaxe button and place wall button are the same exact thing. In the end, this resulted in being able to break and replace walls quicker and more consistently than how controller players normally do it. The first tip in this video is taking advantage of that same mechanic, but for something other than breaking and replacing walls. One of the biggest tips I give players for 50-50 shotgun fights is to immediately build a wall after you shoot your shotgun shot to block your enemy's shotgun shot. If you can get used to doing that, it's a real game changer, but unfortunately for a lot of players, it can be a bit awkward, since it requires you to push a lot of buttons really quickly. But if you take advantage of the same mechanic from the wall replace method, you'll not only be able to shoot and then place walls quicker, but also much more consistently because you're pressing less buttons. However, be aware that this method will only work if your button to build a wall is the same as your button to fire a weapon / swing your pickaxe. Luckily for the vast majority of players, that won't be a problem. That's because those actions are both defaultly bound to RT/R2, and it's very rare that anyone actually changes those. So it's really as simple as this. Whenever you shoot your shotgun, instead of just tapping RT/R2, you want to instead hold that button down, then as soon as you fire, quickly tap whatever button pulls out your building menu, which for most players will be B/circle, while still holding down RT/R2. This works because the game registers that you're still holding down RT/R2 when you open your building menu, and therefore instantly places down a wall. It's so much quicker than the normal way people do this, and it's also so much less stressful on your fingers. So here's a quick little clip of me showing this method compared to the normal way of shooting and then placing a wall. So moving on to tip number 2. Over the past week or so, a new, and at least in my opinion, slightly better wall replace method has been discovered, and it uses really similar mechanics to the wall replace method that I was talking about earlier that I showed in my last video. First, you need to identify whichever enemy wall you want to break and replace, and make it so that it's one shot away from being destroyed by whichever weapon you're using. This honestly may be the hardest part of the entire method, but it's still nothing too complicated. You're going to want to use a weapon that deals the most structure damage in one shot as possible, so unless you're carrying something like a heavy sniper or a deagle, you definitely want to use your shotgun for this method. Combat shotguns do between 45 and 50 structure damage, and tactical shotguns do between 50 and 55 structure damage. Because of this, the simplest thing to do in most situations is to pickaxe the wall down to 75 health first, then take one shotgun shot to bring the wall down to roughly 20 or 30 health, and then you know for a fact that your next shotgun shot will destroy it. When you know for sure that the wall is one shot away from being destroyed, you want to shoot it, but instead of tapping RT/R2 like you normally would when using a shotgun, just like in the last tip, you want to hold down RT/R2. Then it's as simple as pressing whatever button pulls out your building menu while still holding down RT/R2. This works exactly the same as the last method and therefore instantly places down a wall. This saves you an entire button click from how controller players normally replace walls, therefore making it quicker and more consistent. So here's a quick little clip of the method in action. In my opinion, this method is slightly better than just pickaxing the wall because the timing's a little bit easier to get down. And even though ping is definitely still going to play a crucial role here, in case you doubt the potential of this wall replace method, the reason why it became so popular over the last week or so is because Aiden actually used it to qualify for the Fortnite World Cup, and big shout out to him for that, by the way. Speaking of ping, tip number 3 is a really clever wall replace method for you guys out there that play on super high ping. If you're someone with over maybe 40 or 50 ping, it's going to be hard to break and replace enemy walls even with the fastest possible methods. It's one of the biggest flaws in all of Fortnite. So instead of trying to replace walls by outspeeding your opponent, you're instead going to need to outsmart them, and here's a great way to do that. I'm actually going to show you the clip of me doing it first and then explain what happened because it may seem a bit confusing without the explanation. Alright, so here's a rundown of what I did there and why it'll work a lot of the time. You're going to want to start off by identifying which wall you want to break and replace, then jumping up and hitting the highest point of that wall. What this will do is create that circular blue target that shows up when destroying any kind of structure in Fortnite, and it'll be at the very top part of the wall. Once you see that blue circle, you want to place a ramp in front of the wall and then get on top of it, which will make your opponent think you're going to go to the top of their box and that you gave up on trying to destroy the wall that you made weak. Then, when you're on the ramp, you want to swing and hit the blue circle, which for some reason will allow you to swing through the ramp, destroy the wall, and then replace it with one of your own. Since your enemy probably wasn't expecting that because they saw you get on the ramp, you'll likely be able to replace their wall even if you don't have super great ping. Now, where you hit the wall is actually really important because if you don't get the blue circle on the highest part of the wall, the method won't work. So I would recommend playing around in creative a little to get it down before trying it in an actual game. And the final tip of this video is a relatively new trick that involves being able to shoot a shotgun shot in the air after hitting a rift to go. This tip is definitely really situational, but if executed correctly, it can result in a really easy kill anytime you get rift to go with an enemy. Here's a quick little clip of it in action, and I'll explain how to do it immediately after. So here's how this works. As soon as you're rifted into the air, you want to switch to whatever shotgun you have in your inventory. When you do this, the shotgun's crosshair will appear on your screen. As soon as you see that, with your right hand, you want to spam your shoot button and reload button over and over again at the same time. And with your left hand, you want to move your left thumbstick like you normally would to line up the crosshair with the enemy. This will result in you shooting a point-blank range shotgun shot at an enemy that isn't really moving at all. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you watched the entire thing, be sure to let me know with a comment down in the comment section below. Which of these tips did you find the most interesting or you didn't already know how to do? And if you knew them all, you can brag a little and tell me that too. Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, do whatever the heck you want, and I will catch you guys next time.